Within the walls of the storied citadel and the most prominent guilds of the sovereignty, the world's greatest bards exist as an answer to a fundamental question brought about by the very nature of existence. What do we leave behind? When those that history calls great people die, they often leave a legacy behind them, countless stories retold by bards and common folk alike, their lives forever etched into the landscape. But in the eyes of the nations, in the eyes of history, not everyone is great. So what do they leave behind? For Selk, the question was easy. He left countless moonlit nights on rooftops staring towards the stars. He left compassionate words and a thoughtful answer to endless questions and problems. He left beloved children with the virtues of shared survival and community instilled within them. And he left a smile that, even after he had been long gone, would carry his family through the most difficult of times. For Selk, the question was easy. But as she awoke on the aged, rotted wood of a garden shed, her answer began to falter. Even now, Vincent, you can see where there were once countless moonlit nights, countless compassionate words, countless smiles shared. But now, there's just nothing. And it's not unfamiliar to how you felt these past years. Selk looks down. Her breath is steady. You can see that her eyes are glassy, but she is resigned to her current state. She's shared this piece of information with you, Vincent. What do you do?
He's a little shocked. And he's quiet for a moment. And he says, "I'm so sorry. I didn't know that shouldn't have happened. Sorry."
She looks up at you, and she's smiling. There's, of course, a sadness. Of course, there are a few tears that have welled up in just speaking it into existence. But she looks at you, as genuine as she can, and says, "You have nothing to be sorry for. Nothing at all. Without you doing what you did, I would have left my loved ones alone. I wouldn't have been able to be there for them anymore."
But you lost. I'm sorry. There has to be some way to fix that. There's gotta be there's gotta be some way to unlock that memory or something.
Mr. Vincent, it's okay. I've already lost him once.
Which is why it's so awful that you lost him a second time. There has to be a way I can fix it. But maybe my magic was wrong. Maybe I didn't do it right.
You feel a sudden tug as you are pulled into a hug. You're taller than her, so she just sort of rests her head there and tries to just give you a light hold, just for a second. It's okay. Don't think about it now. I'm okay.
He hugs her back.
You have so much on your shoulders already, and I feel like you have so much you already blame yourself for. I don't want this to be another thing on top of you. I don't want this to be something else to weigh you down. Because I'm okay. And you saved me. To me, you're a hero. She lets you go and says, looks you right in the eye, says, so don't worry about it. I'm okay. I just felt like I needed to talk to somebody.
Of course. I'm glad you're safe and here. But I wish... for a lot of things. If you need anything else, just call on me. Alright? If you feel anything else go wrong, or I don't know.
I will. And the same goes to you too. My family. We're family to all of you, not just Azram.
It's funny, I don't really remember a time where I had a family, so it's nice. Thank you.
I'm sorry that your new family's memories are a little hectic.
Talk about hectic memories. No, it's alright.
I'll let you get back to what you're doing. And she sort of squeezes your hand a little bit and then makes her way back towards Titus and Titan. Vincent, you are there, the abandoned building used as a safe house for your companions at the time. What are you doing?
Vincent is going to go find a nice quiet corner and sit down and just stare at his hands for a while. And when nobody is paying attention, he will look down and say, I know this was you. I know you did this. I know you're in there. I know you can hear me.
You stare down at your hands, your eyes making your way towards your chest, where you can feel the cold metal against your skin, and that grating, obnoxious, and mocking laughter just rises from the silence. Oh, hello.
I did the spell right. Why is there a piece of her memory missing?
You sure did do the spell right. And, I granted her life because of it. Are you not happy? Would you have preferred that she, stay under, swimming with the fishes of the endless sea right about now?
I told you if you did anything to her.
You'll what? Because I've done it. And I'm shaking, waiting for the consequences.
Your days are numbered.
Big words from a mortal being. Vincent, there's going to come a time where you need me.
Bullshit.
Oh, no. I'm not saying this as a hypothetical or a maybe. I know that there will be. And in all honesty, though I've been a bit crass about it, I still feel as though I'm keeping this bridge open. I refuse to burn it. You wanted access to one of the most powerful magics in the world, the power to defy fate and the gods, and to bring somebody back from across the veil. I gave you that power.
I still think you're lying about my powers coming from you.
Sure.
I don't believe you.
You can go discuss it with the poor mother over there, which you wouldn't have been able to do if I didn't show up. Listen, Vincent, you've been through so much these past few days. To deny a possible ally, I don't think it's wise, in all honesty. And I've shown unlimited patience. Because, like I said, at the core of things, I'm on your side.
Bullshit. You have done nothing but cause me pain and suffering this whole time. I have known you, that I've heard you.
I wasn't the one who picked up the amulet. Listen.
And even now you mock me. You haven't even told me what you want from me. I barely know your name.
All I want is to start helping you. I've already crossed as many boundaries as I can, given you powers that allow you to survive each and every ordeal. But if you want help getting the amulet off, then all you have to do is ask for it, and then I can help you. If you want to get to the end of this sordid story, then you just have to ask, and I can give you a little guidance. But I've extended as much as I can.
What do you want with this amulet? Given what I know about you, I don't think you'd do anything out of the charity of your own heart. There's gotta be something in it for you.
In reality, I don't give a damn about the amulet. I care more about you, Vincent.
Sure.
It's true. You're the key to all of this. Your story matters the most to me. Seeing it through to the very end. And I want to see you make it there.
What's that even supposed to mean?
You'll find out in time.
Not you're gonna tell me that you can predict the future too. I'm supposed to believe that.
Predict implies inaccuracy. Whereas I know what's going to happen to a T.
Really?
Yes, I do.
Prove it.
There's a moment of silence before you here. Before you leave Wheldon, you will need my help to survive. And that's a promise.
Vague. I like it.
Such is the gift of prophecy.
I don't need your help. Never have. Honestly, if you just fuck off and leave me alone, that'd be great.
There's no response.
Good.
As you are left there in silence, the cold retreating back into the amulet. More questions arise. More so than answers.
I haven't heard from the other one in a while. Have I?
You have not. So, you all resting for the time being, moving through downtime. Basically, we will push through 2 more vague activities. We won't go through the day-to-day, but as you all take this already very tumultuous day and move towards rest and trying to plan for your next moves, is there anything that you all are doing? This can be story stuff. This could be like doing things to prepare, etc. It all depends on what it is. This period of downtime, we're not going to go day by day. We're not going to go action by action. It's more of like generally what would you be doing? Who would you talk to? Doesn't have to be everybody. It doesn't have to be one person for each 5 days, but just conversations you'd want to have. And then if at any point you want to go out into the Undercity, that's when we'll play it out, unless it's something fairly small. Even then, it'll be kind of abbreviated, but we will see when we get there. So who has something they would like to do in downtime currently?
Ladara would probably want to try to find someone around that could help her make some new arrows.
Okay. You've noticed that like you're running low on poison arrows, and you've had some ideas for other utility arrows that you can make, but you need somebody who's good with crafting. You actually know that Azram used to have experience doing some form of crafting. You don't know the whole story behind it, but you do know that it is something that maybe he could help you with.
Then I will look for Azram. Where is that blue dude?
You find Azram. I don't know if he's hiding from you or...
Riveting roleplay.
Just spectacular.
Azram's actually hiding behind a crate. You have to roll.
You have to roll. See if you can find him.
Shit, that's a natural 1. So
You don't
get your arrows, eh?
It's 10 plus.
Okay.
10 plus whatever your perception is. We're not
doing it.
It's good. You're able to find Azram. Oh, maybe it takes you a little bit longer because he's for some reason hiding from you. But you eventually find him behind a crate just peeking out at you.
He's playing hide and seek, but he didn't tell you.
Yeah. So, you two meet up.
Azram, I need your help with something if you can.
Sure.
If you have time.
Are you trying to like
What?
do some pickup lines? Like
What?
I can help.
No. No.
No. I'm pretty good at it.
It's something important, actually. Not
Love is important. Hold on. And I think that
what?
it may be time for you to find
What?
someone.
Anyways, I'm going to ignore that and pretend I didn't hear it. Will you... Will you help me make arrows? Please.
Arrows. Oh yeah, I can talk you through it.
Okay, cool. I'm running low, and so I wanted to stock up on some new ones.
You're gonna have to pay me though.
Azram.
I'm just kidding.
You are kidding, right?
We'll see after the arrows are made.
Well, alright.
Okay. So what kind of arrows are you trying to make? This is a homebrew rule in which we are creating some special arrows that are limited use that Ladara can use in combat. So what kinds are you trying to make? I would say you can do 2 different kinds.
I would like to do 1, maybe to shoot traps.
Interesting.
and then maybe one that could possibly cause like hallucinations on someone, or like cause them to like have a distorted vision or something.
God,
Okay.
like a flashbang, or like a
Kind of like a
phantasmal force kind of thing, where it's like an image in their mind or something.
Kind of like Phantasmal Force, yeah, I think.
Ooh,
Would make the most sense. Here's how we'll do this. Go ahead and, since Azram is helping you, roll an arrow check with advantage, which is
thanks,
a
Azram.
+6.
Ooh.
16.
Okay, so with a 16, you're able to make the arrows. The quantity is where I'll sort of dock you, if that makes sense. But basically, how both of those arrows work. One of them is an arrow that, in terms of trap, what kind are you looking for? Net, tar, flashbang, etc. Also be entangling vines, if you'd like.
Or like a web.
Or like a web, if you want to try and do something like that.
Like a sticky web.
Little sticky web.
Are you trying to be Spider-Man?
I do like Spider-Man.
No shades.
Maybe like a net to like capture them.
Okay, fantastic. So the way this arrow works is when you fire it, eventually the back end will drop off and the front end will releasing a net which entangles somebody. They'll have to make a strength check to try and get out of the net or be restrained until they can get it off, which would be a DC that I'll decide. And the second one, which is your hallucinatory arrow, with Azram's help, I think how I'm going to roll this is that Azram has magic that allows hallucinations. You have, for instance, if I'm wrong, then cut this out, but Phantasmal Killer, which I think is one thing that you've cast before on somebody.
I do have Phantasmal Killer.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Okay, you have Phantasmal Killer. So how this will work is when you fire this arrow, it's covered with a poison that is also affected by Azram's magic, which will basically create some sort of phantasmal hallucination of somebody's fear in front of them.
Damn.
Which will give them the frightened condition, as well as have them believe whatever they're seeing is real. You can't really dictate it, but I suppose since Azram helped you, if you team up with Azram to use it, then Azram can dictate what they see when they get hit by the arrow. So that sort of thing.
Some abilities are like just whatever it is, it's just the person's worst fear. Or like something like a secret that they never would tell anybody, and like it
We
just
could
shows
rule it
up.
like that. Worst fear. That's
think
sure.
Azram's Phantasmal Killer is just their worst fear.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Then
Okay.
whatever
different abilities
they'll
like
make
that.
an
Fucking
intelligence save.
terrified.
They'll make an intelligence save, and if they fail, then they see their worst fear. They won't take as much damage as Phantasmal Killer. All the damage will be in the arrow, but they will be frightened for a long while and very,
Something like that.
very difficult. So you have 2 of each of those. Go ahead and write those down currently.
Okay.
So you have 2 hallucinatory arrows and then 2 trap arrows. Okay.
Azram would pick one up. Be like, like holds it up.
What?
It's just pretty good. I haven't made anything in a while.
Oh, yeah, it does look pretty good. Why haven't you? You seem pretty good at it.
I haven't made anything since I was like a teenager.
Oh, is this the first thing you've made?
Yeah.
Oh, well then I'm honored.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks.
Job well done. And well crafted. I feel very proud. That's really good. I'm going to give you an inspiration for that little detail.
Oh,
That's really good.
Thanks.
So, anyone else doing anything downtime wise?
she would probably be helping out with any side missions that anyone had, to like helping people in the Undercity. But that's just a passive thing. Just
Not going up to the...
not going all the way up. Well, she would do whatever she had to do.
Okay. I'll say just give me a stealth check. You can't fail this check because you have reliable talent, but it'll just show me how well you do in that.
It was a 19.
My God.
Plus
12.
Over the course of the next few days, whenever somebody needs somebody to get anything out of the Overcity, whether it be stuffed animals that have been left behind by people who have been up there, or like by thorn grunts and walsh grunts who have like kids that they brought down with them, or if it's just like finding more supplies, Ladara is the person to do it. You're able to get underneath the radar of any and every beast. You're able to sneak through every alley and dodge every possible danger and get back intact.
damn.
Wow.
Over the next couple days.
I would probably ask if you saw Finnegan.
Make a reception
That's the
check.
only thing.
Did I see Finnegan?
They were following us before.
29.
Wow.
Every time off in the distance, just out of range, you can see them just watching.
I'm gonna get their ass. Saving up my 6 level
Watching.
spells for 2 sweet.
Fantastic.
That is all.
Okay. Anyone else doing something along those lines?
So I have this is a Christian question. I have a
Sure
my
do.
a feat where I can see through the eyes of any humanoid.
Oh, you did that invocation?
Yeah, I've had it for a while.
Shit, yeah.
So, what it is exactly is you touch a willing humanoid and perceive through its senses until the end of your next turn. As long as the creature is in the same plane of existence as you, you're blinded and deafened to your own surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to do is I want to do it on like an animal. I would, hypothetically speaking, I'd want to do it on a bird, and I'd want the bird to fly out of the city so that I can kind of get like a read on how far the bleeding goes without actually going myself.
This is a great time to introduce the augment mechanic. Okay, so you want to do something right outside of your magic's written description. Well, there's a new skill that I've introduced in the game called augmentation. You augment your magic to do what you want it to do. But the first thing I'm going to need you to do, because I just thought of it, is I need you to roll animal handling to see if you can catch a bird.
Catch a little
very
bird.
important.
Okay.
Oh my god.
There's not a ton of birds in the Undercity, but you know there's still like
There's the occasional.
15.
15
Not
is
too bad.
enough for you to get like I almost said a raw pigeon. For you to get a straight pigeon.
Raw pigeon.
Yeah, Azram is like skulking around the Undercity, and you finally hear like, "Qurr, qurr, qurr," and there's just a pigeon bobbing its neck.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
As you see it, just a whole group of them, Azram, going up, sneaking towards them.
Just a lot of
And you
pigeons.
dive, and you just grab one in your hand. just
I
clutch it at your
imagine
chest.
that someone looking outside and just seeing that and being like, what the fuck is he doing?
You've got this pigeon in your hands. It's trying to freak out, fly away.
Signet's like, what?
You're like, it's
roll.
all part of the plan.
Go ahead and roll to augment now. This is like a medium DC, I'll say. It's not super high, not super, not super low.
12.
12? Okay. It's enough to accomplish what you're doing, but there will be like a minor arcane effect that happens as minor backlash. In fact, I'll give you a little bargain here, is what I'll ask.
Oh.
I'll let you do what your spell wants to do, but instead of your sight being transferred to the pigeon, for the next hour or so, until you or the pigeon dies, your consciousness are switched.
Wait, so that means Azram's gonna be walking around with the consciousness of a little bird brain. He already does.
Not much different. Astrid's just walking around, and he's just like clucking his little head forward.
We can roll for a random effect, or
That's
it could
so
be
funny.
different or worse. That's up to you.
No, let's go with
That's
it.
hilarious.
You catch this pigeon. You feel these sort of electric motes of energy just wrap around the pigeon, and you feel that sight being pulled, despite this creature being so out of what your pact allows you to switch sight with, and you feel a little bit more than your sight pulled out as you're expecting, like just looking through a camera, like seeing the pigeon's views, watching it move its head. You think, I nailed it. I can not only see through this pigeon's eyes, I can also move the head around. Like, I can control. I think I'm moving with it too. Like, wow. Until you turn your head and you see your body just like standing still with you in your hands, just going. Just like bobbing its head and walking around and like jumping as it's trying to take flight. You see it like flapping its arms as you, the pigeon, are watching Azram, the body, completely out of your control.
Are we there for this? Because this is...
Signet's still there. He's like,
Signet has no fucking idea. Signet is losing his mind right now. He's just like, Mom! As he makes his way. But Azram, you are in your pigeon form for the next, I'll say, hour is probably enough time to get done what you're trying to get done.
Okay, so the good thing is that he can control the pigeon now. So his first thing he's gonna do is he's gonna find Ladara and he's gonna fly around her for a little bit and annoy the shatter.
Not anything productive.
Ladara, you're coming back after an excursion into the Undercity. People are cheering for you as you hand out their supplies to them, and all of a sudden this fucking shitty pigeon comes around and starts just flying around and pecking you.
Can I try to shit on her head?
It's not a try, it's a you do. As your Ladara, make a dex save, as this pigeon is certainly trying.
Ladar is vigorously swatting at this bird. Like, what the fuck is this bird?
Kills it.
She better watch out, because she might. She'll fucking stab it right here. What was that? What was that?
Dex save. Dex save. You should be proficient.
Oh.
It's not like a reliable
It's
talent,
11. With a +8.
but make an attack roll with +1.
God, you're gonna fucking kill me with the...
Azram.
Shit all
It's like acid shit.
8.
There's a second, Ladara, where you're like, this pigeon's annoying, and then like a few minutes later you're like, this pigeon is actively trying to shit on me. Like, a pigeon should not have this much shit. it's like there's no reason for this pigeon to be following you and shitting as much as it is. But Azram,
I can't wait to see the fan art of it.
Ladara's face is just dead. Just
you're dodging it out of the way. It's like
anger.
But eventually, Azram, you realize that you probably should get a move on up top.
So then Azram is going to head out of the city.
You fly up, sticking close to the rooftops where you won't really be seen by the giant creatures overhead as you are flying across. You are able to get to the edge of Wheldon, the sort of high walls and the road that leads more towards Goldstead and Siniath. It is a little bit tense flying through Wheldon in such a vulnerable form, but it is also nice being just a bird for a little bit and being free to the air, even if it is weird, fucked up hell air. Eventually, you land sort of and perch
on the wall facing outward. Make a perception check. This is with Azrim stats, because it's not polymorph where you are a pigeon. It's Azrim in a pigeon's body. So it's your perception. Unless the pigeon's perception is better, which...
It might be.
it might be. Let me look that up, actually. What's your perception, Azrim?
+1?
It's the same.
Okay. So 13?
13 is enough to get a slight amount of information, just looking. The outside of the city. You're not sure exactly what you were expecting, whether it be that when the city ends, you can just see normal life for a while, but as you're looking out there, it looks like for a good distance, littering the road, trying to get out further down towards Goldstead, towards Siniath, you can see there are bodies that are just dead. They're Thorns, Walshes, guards, especially some townsfolk that are there. You can see some of the beasts, those long spider-legged wolf type creatures. Some of them feast out in the fields while others scoop up and bring them back towards Wheldon, bring them back inside. And as you're looking outward, you can see that this stretches for quite some time, but there is an end to it. You're not sure exactly how far, and you're not sure if it's going to stay the same, but you can see that almost like a glass dome is over you all, that you can almost see through the corruption towards a place that's normal. Like almost like a fogged up version or like distorted image, but you can tell that like the trees are vibrant past a certain point, like the plant life is there. It's just currently the immediate surrounding area, probably you're not sure if it's like a mile or like a quarter mile or something like that, is still infested with beasts, and they're very much active and like near on the outside of town as well.
Is that along the river, or is that a top?
That's towards the roads. I mean, it's also along the river too. It's like a circle, if that makes like a dome over the whole thing. So
Does it look like there's anything in the river?
looking towards the river, no, it actually doesn't. As you fly towards there, make a stealth check with this one with pigeon stats, which I'll point to is +2 because they're pretty small.
8.
Okay, you're able to get to the river. As you're peeking downward, you can see that as you first entered, looking northward, the river is flowing down and the water is clear still, unusually so. Where the banks of the river are withered and dying, it seems like all the parts that actually touch the waters of the river are surprisingly normal. And it's at that moment you are scooped up in the jaws, and you
Oh my
wake
god.
up as Azrim. I need you to roll just a luck check here so I can figure out where Azrim is.
Meanwhile, this whole time, actually, it's just it's like Vincent comes by. He's like, "Hey, Ladar, have you seen Azrim in a while?"
No, honestly, I haven't.
Oh, that's weird. You should go find
14.
him. Maybe?
Okay. Ladar and Vincent, you can hear Wolfgang shouting for Dr. Neerja. Just, there's something wrong with him. As you wake up pinned down by Wolfgang, who is holding on to you as
Wolfgang, whoa, dude!
You're on the ground. Some of your clothes are all dirtied up, and you all look and see Azrim just being held down.
What is going on? What are you doing?
Are you okay?
Wolfgang, I'm flattered, but
My God, what?
I have a boyfriend.
What? As
What's
you
happening?
you all look
What's going on?
inside you all look. This is like, I'd say probably like right outside the main building that you're all staying at. there's just destruction everywhere
Oh my
with just
God.
like broken windows and
Oh my god.
Do
Azram,
crates and stuff that are just like shattered, and Azram's just there.
Azram, did you do this?
You didn't see? Are you feeling better now? You were non-verbal. I mean, I couldn't communicate with you. You were making noises at me. I thought that maybe the stress of it all had finally gotten to you.
Are you okay?
Did something happen?
Oh, that was the pigeon.
What?
Wait a second. Azram,
I may have switched bodies with a pigeon.
You can what now?
I'm gonna kill you.
You can do that?
What are you talking about, Ladara? What
I've
happened?
never thought about killing a pigeon before, but I have today.
What? That's so cool.
It's so cool.
You're able to receive the information, but
Incredible.
fantastic.
Riveting.
Wow.
Hey there, it's Christian coming at you live with The Break. Before we hop into anything else, we have a big announcement that was released yesterday. The Strings of Fate Patreon has officially been launched. That is right, you have a new avenue in which you can support us, and that is through the Patreon. And thus, we have an avenue in which to distribute to you bonus content. This show is still a small production where all of the creators involved have jobs that they need to do outside of the show itself. And so any support really means a ton to us. So the response to the Patreon has been huge. Thank you for all your support, truly. We hope to keep up a good amount of bonus content to give you interesting things to thank you for helping us. First order of business on that, however, is a new little segment in The Break. I'm going to be taking some time to thank our patrons. That's right. If you subscribe at the $10 tier, then you get an in-episode shout-out in The Break. If you've already subscribed at the $10 tier, but have not sent me your name on Discord or Patreon, then I need you to do that as soon as you can, because without that, I don't know what to call you, or how to pronounce your name, or what information you want shared on the internet. The same goes for the in-description episode shoutouts. There should be a post on the Patreon now that you can comment under. There you can leave what name you would like to be left in the episode description, but until then, I don't want to put out information until I know that people are comfortable with me sharing it. That being said, these are some of the people that have supported our show at the $10 tier on Patreon, and I'd like to take a moment to read out their names. Auda, Bug, Sparrow, Adjnor, Obsolete Goat, Mary, Leo, Orion Arthur, Kat, Rin, Toby, Eskil, Courtney, Jay, Astrid, Des, Valentina, Leon, Orpheus, Rowan Ash, Venus, and Olivia. Thank you so much for supporting the show, all of you. It means a ton to have you all on board as patrons. If you're in the $10 tier and didn't hear your name, please send it to me as quickly as you can. I'm reading right off of the Discord as of July 2nd, 12:36 midnight. For the description shout-out, I need everyone to please send me the name that they would feel comfortable being put in the description down below. You can do that on either Discord or Patreon, so whichever one. If you're not already a patron, please consider checking it out and supporting us. We have some bonus content on there already. We're going to have exclusive warm-up questions, early access to soft talks, work-in-progress art, as well as unseen art. And in the future, we will have one-shots, early access to them at least, on the Patreon. That's just a few of the benefits, so go check it out. The link is in the description below. Moving on to our other announcements, we are happy to announce that we are partnering with Dungeon Devs for another giveaway. You can find the details on social media now. We are giving away more of our SoftPod stickers.
go check out those posts now as I segue into our weekly scheduled Dungeon Depths commercial. That's right, we here at the Strings of Fate love Dungeon Depths, and they love us. So much so that they are the sponsor of this show. Dungeon Depths is your one-stop shop for quality gaming supplies with character. I don't know where that came from, and I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry about Dungeon Depths' amazing quality. They have handmade dice vaults, clothing, stickers, you name it. We also host some of our merch on there, which currently is just the stickers, but that will change someday. Right now, if you use the code SOFTPOD at checkout, you can get 10% off of your order. So go check social media right now to see our sticker giveaway, and also check out Dungeon Depths at shopdungeondepths.com. Thank you, Dungeon Depths. SoftPod is not just a code that you use at the Dungeon Depths store, however. It's also our hashtag. Tweet about the show using the hashtag SoftPod, SOFPOD, and you can get your name featured as an NPC, historical figure, place, etc. on the show. This is turning out to be like an extra long break, so I won't give the whole song a dance, but just like and subscribe and comment on this video, rate us on podcast services, and recommend us to your friends. Thank you all so much for your support for the show and for the Patreon. It really means a ton to us. Anyways, back to the show. So, Vincent, any information you're trying to figure out, anyone you're trying to talk to, anything you're trying to do for any big excursions?
I guess the only other person I would really talk to is Renair to see how he's doing and kind of give him the lowdown of everything that we're doing, because I don't think we've talked to him since before we went to see the tower and save the Arlaxel, so I don't know that he knows any of this plan.
He's been very much resting this whole time as he's been put on bed rest by Dr. Neerja, but you're able to approach Renair, who is up now, bandaged across where his wound. You can see he's got the shirtless, only band-aids look currently as he's lying back. He says, Vincent! He smiles as he sort of beckons you to come towards him. Beckons.
Beckons.
Quite the word. Give me 1 second.
Is Yarlaxle also in the same room, like in the same vicinity, like 2 beds over?
Yarlaxle actually has gotten to work on the new submarine to get out. So Yarlaxle's down at the docks. He's not there currently.
Thank God.
Renair sort of calls you to sit down next to him. He says, "Oh my goodness, it's how have you?
Hi.
Hi.
Good morning.
How long have I been out?
A few days.
Oh goodness, is everyone safe? Is everyone all right, alive?
Yeah. Is everyone? Azram got turned into a pigeon.
Willingly.
What?
Willingly, apparently. Ladara's fine. She's been working on some arrows. Oh, did you see Yarlaxle? He's here.
What?
I know.
Not that guy.
I know. We had to. I don't want him here either.
No, it's all right. I mean, in all honesty, he did help me when I was doing some pretty not smart things. So,
Don't mind me. You keep doing those not smart things. Gives him a look.
Is this what I'm waking up to?
No.
Is this, no. Yes, it's not smart, but what else am I supposed to do? This could have been you, he says as he points towards his punctured abdomen.
It should have been me.
No, that's not the right word choice, and you know
I
it.
would have been fine.
No, it doesn't. I know you'd be able to take it, but I don't want you to have to. And I held out, and it was terrible. And I wouldn't wish this on anybody, especially not you. Listen, let's not fight. What's been going on?
I'm not fighting. We've got a plan to get out. That's why we needed Yarlaxle, because if we need to, well, he's the only one who can make what we need to get under the water and get out.
Okay, that's fair, and he's agreed to help.
As far as we know, yeah. He's cooperating enough. And hopefully we'll have that ready by the end of the week. And, well, we've kind of decided that there's not much else we can do here in this city. It's, a bit dangerous, so we're gonna focus on getting our own out, and maybe we can move on to the next place. There are still people in that tower, though.
Renair sort of looks and says, how do you feel about that?
Terrible. I don't want to leave them. But, I mean, you didn't see what it was like in that ballroom. There are too many. We can't take them. And
It's all right. I didn't see what it was like, and I don't. A younger me would have dashed right into it and sacrificed myself in order to possibly save somebody, but I don't want to lose any of you, and it's more than just me. So if this is the decision everyone's come to, then I'm fine with it. I suppose there will always be a little thing nagging, knowing, or not knowing, I suppose, of what could be done, but it's all right. Hey, it's okay. We're safe. Everyone's safe. We saved as many as we could. I'm okay. Archie's looks like he's doing better. We're all right, Vincent. We're okay.
I don't know, for as much as we're doing, it feels like it's not enough. Or at least what I'm doing. First, the people in the tower, and then Silk. I don't know, I'm trying my best. And it feels like I'm coming up short in a lot of ways.
You're not. I mean, you brought someone back to life within the past week. You've saved an entire family along with extended others. You've escaped from harrowing danger just by a hair, at least several times at this point. Just a week and a half that we've been here, you've done so much already. You need a rest. You need to... We just need time, he says as he takes your hand, just kind of holds it with both of his. He says, we're going to find time.
Renner, what if my magic stops working? What if there have been things that I've noticed. I'm nervous of my magic failing. What am I supposed to do?
Then we'll live out the rest of our adventuring days as a non-magic duo.
I can't do much else.
That's not true. You're more than just your magic.
He sighs.
If something like that were to happen, then I'm absolutely certain that me and everyone else in our party would protect you to the last breath and help you figure something out. We'd get you somewhere where you're safe and where we can learn to do something non-magical.
I just don't want to end up being a burden to you all.
It's simply not going to happen. I've been a burden plenty of times to your party. We've had to come and and saved me from terrible situations here and there. But, no matter what, Vincent, you hold more than just your magic. You mean a lot to Adara and Azramadai. They do need you. Magic or not, they need a Vincent. Strings of Fate aren't the same without him. Don't worry about it. It'll all work out. Everything's going to be just fine.
Let's hope. And he just puts his head, like, on his shoulder. Like his forehead on his shoulder.
Runs his hands through your hair as you are both just taking a moment to rest in the middle of all this hectic, terrible chaos. A small moment of respite. Okay, so, Ladara, you're trying to do some memory rolls.
Yes, please.
There's a certain way to work, but make a perception check with disadvantage. As the second day, your memory is becoming a little bit clearer, even though this is loose, so don't think we're going perfectly in chronological order, but basically every time you try to remember it, we'll just do it by days. So your memory is becoming a little bit clearer, but still
Natural 20.
foggy.
Natural 20.
Double nat 20s.
Come on. 20.
So 20.
Ooh.
Still pretty high DC. So this first check that you make, I will give you a little bit more information. And there's a certain way we're going to play that out. Instead of me reciting to you exactly everything you hear and say, we take a step back into that moment. Ladara, you are there in a daze, viewing the person in front of you with the utmost respect and compassion as you would your friends. The surroundings are blurry to you, like an oil painting that swirls even more as you look at it, getting more and more distorted as you try to focus out of anything except for the person in front of you. And it's frustrating because right off to the side, further down the hallway, you can see the swirl of a familiar figure, but you can't make out who they are. But you begin to remember the first part of this conversation. So, Adara, let's talk about Vincent.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Oh, what about him?
What's going on with Vincent and that amulet?
You know, honestly, I'm not entirely sure. I don't have a lot of the details, but I know he can't get it off. There's been some instances where things have happened. I've seen a couple of them happen. But I don't really know why he can't get it off.
It's like a magical item then? Some kind?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
You see them sort of turn their head back towards the figure. Say, what do you think? There's like a garbled noise, just a... that returns. Has Vincent ever mentioned it being a being? That something more above? Say like a god or a devil? Fae, etc.
Devil? Not a devil or anything. I think he said something like, there was a fae inside, maybe?
A fae? Very interesting. And your friend's intention is to get the amulet off, correct?
Oh, I believe so. Because it has removed a big part of his memory. I think he wants that back.
Is that right? It's interesting. Well, friendly advice, I think you should be heading towards Lunastra, if I'm being honest.
Oh, I think I've heard of that.
Yes, it's the city of the Mother Night, that sort of thing. But they're also one of the only connections to another plane that exists still. A straight shot to the Feywild if you're trying to get there.
Oh, very interesting. All right.
I thought I'd offer a helpful tip, is all. Does that sound right to you? And you hear it's words. It is words. And the voice is still familiar, but it's just warped and distorted. It's hard to hear. They look and they say, Vincent, if there is another being that's affecting him, you don't think there's any harm of him, being influenced by that creature, turning against the party, that sort of thing? It's always a risk with extraplanar things. Just looking out for you all.
There have been instances where he's been taken over by something, but he's never attacked us.
They sort of raise their hands and say, all right, just asking. Don't mean to imply anything, of course. Just always looking out. And with that last smile, you recover a small piece of the memory. Just a piece. As time passes, you go about your day. You all make your way through. Ladara, if you're continuing to try and figure out the memory, then go ahead and make another check for me. This one, not at disadvantage. Just straight up.
That was a 3.
Ooh.
But it's
So-
a 10, so it's 20.
Okay. So, for this one, the way it happens, that same oily exterior, that same blur, still not any closer to seeing who the other figure is. But Finnegan is there. And they're smiling as they lean in and say, okay, so Azram, you said you're all heading east, and that's sort of more Azram's goal lies eastward. Well, what is that exactly?
Well, he's trying to find his father, but he says he feels a pull east, so we figured that's the best place to start.
Interesting. You hear some whispered words that are distorted, and then does that have anything to do with Azram's patron? Something along those lines?
His what?
Touched on a sore subject, I see. How much do they know again? Anyways, listen, drop the subject. So, eastward, father. In order to reunite with his father, or...
Oh, God, no. I believe he would like to kill him.
Ah, classic. Let's see here. Any other details that you know about this father and who they are?
Not a lot. I know that he killed, Azram's stepfather? Adopted father? Something of the sort, but he killed him.
It's quite tragic. It's very sorry to hear that. Well, if you're heading east, then the farthest east you can head, I suppose, is the Shining Isles, though. If you need help getting through there, then sorry, I'm a bit lost on there. But, I'm sure you'll be able to do it. You're all a bright group.
We've gotten this far, so...
Absolutely. And you know nothing of Azram's patron, what he's supposed to do for them.
What is a patron exactly? Should I know this?
Sorry, let me break it down. An extraplanar being in which one makes a deal with to become a warlock.
Oh. I would know nothing about that, unfortunately.
Unfortunate. Unexpected, but unfortunate. All right, then. Let's move on. As you are...
Jesus. It gets worse and worse every time.
Is she doing this around us, or is she like in a?
It's
little
less
private
it's less
spot?
like a trance or something like that.
Yeah.
It's literally just like very hard concentration.
Just imagining her in the corner, just like eyes shut,
She's
like, what the fuck? Come on, Ladara.
Make your roll.
Roll high.
Just straight up.
Come on.
Straight up.
Straight up.
What is it?
20. It's
20.
a 10, so it's a 20.
Okay. You're starting to reach a point where you are hitting a limit where even though this memory is coming back, there was still some sort of invasive spell that was at work to actively suppress it. And you're afraid that if in the next few attempts you don't get it, it might be lost information.
No.
But you are able to get another piece. Enough about everyone else. I want to hear about you.
Oh, me?
Yes, from what I know, you have already dealt with some of your loose ends. Hydrus and Kaol and Karim, Chimera, all that business.
How did you know those names?
Latara. We're friends, aren't we? I just know. Listen, without getting into all of that information, why are you still with the Strings of Fate then? It seems like your journey is at its end, unless you have another goal.
Well, I wouldn't say it's at its end. I still haven't found Garrick again. Garrick Landstone. I would like to kill him. Next goal, but there are some blocks in the way, and I have a friend who wanted to help with that, so I don't mind helping them with whatever they need until my turn, I guess.
Interesting. Is there nothing else for you at this point? Is there any other aspects of your adventuring life that you're trying to figure out? Things that you may be missing, people, etc. I know that you lost a lot at the village, but surely there must be something left. Somebody.
Well, I am still trying to find my sister. I haven't seen her in a while. But hopefully by traveling around a bit I can find her path and see where she's ended up.
Any idea where you last left her?
Last I saw her was years ago. I left her back in Garla with an old witch.
Wow. Quite a drop-off spot. Afraid I don't think we have any information on that one, but I'll keep my eye out, and if I see anything, I'll tell you.
Oh, thank
Seriously.
you. I
Of course.
appreciate it.
What do you think? Getting ready to wrap this up? As you're back.
Jeez.
Can I try something?
Sure.
I don't know if it'll do anything. I can try. I don't know if what's blocking your memory is some sort of magical effect, but if it is, I can try to dispel magic.
At what level?
I was going to try 5th.
Oop.
One creature, object, magical effect within range, any level of, well, this would be 4th or level, I think. Or 4th level or lower. You make an ability check based on my spellcasting ability. DC equals 10 plus the spell's level.
Okay. I will give you a few more attempts, but because of Vincent's help just there, I will give you advantage on all of them.
Yes! Thanks, Vincent.
As Vincent, what does that look like as you come up to Ladara the next day, as she's finished her tasks above ground and helping people, and is sat down for her now nightly ritual of trying to figure out what is going on?
Does she tell us, like,
Yeah.
every time she gets something?
Yeah, probably. I should
Okay.
probably relay the information that
Yeah.
she finds across.
Okay.
And she would just be like, there's just a block and I can't get past it. It's so frustrating.
I can try something similar to what Astrid was doing, but not quite. But
Honestly, anything helps at this point. I'll take it.
all right, okay. Well then, he will sit down next to her and will pull out his violin, and he will play it softly. Just for, as long as I guess he doesn't need to, but as long as she's in the meditative state, he will be playing it.
Wow.
There is a calming and meditative song that swirls around you from Vincent's violin and helps you get into place. You're standing in the hallway. You can see Finnegan. They stand before you. And that figure is there as the paint begins to unswirl and the picture begins to become clearer. Make a perception check with advantage.
Come on.
This one will be the last
Who is it?
few.
Who is it? That was cocked.
19 plus 10. 29.
Finnegan looks back. I think we're about done here, don't you? And for the first time, you hear an ungarbled, undistorted voice reply. Yes, I believe so. You see the figure move off the wall, begin to approach you. Your face is gaunt. And it's plagued you for so long. You got lost wandering the manor. In fact, you've really lost track of time. You must be getting back to your friends. It's very nice to see you again, Ladara. As Garrick Lansdowne looks you dead in the eye.
Fear.
Oh my god!
From there, the memory is as you remember. You walk away, your motive changes. You're lost. You've been lost, but you know how to get back from here. You make your way back to your friend's room. They question you on a discrepancy in how you felt time. They claim you've been gone for long, when you've only been gone for, I don't know, a couple minutes, 20, 30 minutes. And all of it traces back to one point. So, you feel sort of that tightening in your chest, seeing his face again. And as you come back to Ladara, how are you doing?
The dots are connecting. Vincent's still playing.
Okay. Oh my god.
He stops. Are you okay? You got it.
Oh my god, I saw who it was.
Who was it?
Is Azram over here?
Yeah.
Okay. It was Garrick. I talked to Garrick. He was in the manor.
Garrick's in Wheldon.
He's here. At least he was.
And he was with Finnegan.
Of course he was.
I was right. Finnegan was recruited. Has to be it, right?
Why? Oh my god.
Oh my god. Does that mean that Garrick's been following us around this whole time? Is he still here?
Right under our noses. And I didn't even know he was here.
He's gonna keep chasing us.
Until I kill him. And he can't anymore.
Adam, you feel pain in your tattoo.
Ooh.
And it's only happened a few times. As you watch that tattoo slither down your arm and begin to reform itself, you are disguised as usual
So only you know what's happening. But you feel it reform itself across your arm
I look at it.
as you drop part of your disguise. You see across your arm, it says, "Well done."
Guys,
What?
so
What is it?
you remember the tattoo?
The lightning one?
Yeah.
Yes.
What is it?
It's used as a way for Invictus to communicate with me.
Ew.
And then he just like drops his disguise and shows his arm.
Jagged script, you see the words written out, almost mockingly.
He's such a fucking asshole.
Well done. What did you do?
I don't know. Do I have any idea what he's on about?
Make, let me think. Make an insight check, sure. This is less like reading him and more so like, having like a moment of insight to be like, that's probably it. You both can make one too, if you'd like.
Can I do anything with magic? Arcana? I don't know.
It's insight mostly for this
Okay.
one.
5.
5.
28.
Ladara and
Like 12.
Ladara will be the first to get it. That this message most likely isn't directed towards Azram, and more so towards you for figuring it out. A small mocking present. Vincent, you're not entirely sure, and Azram, you're like, did I do something? Oh shit. But Ladara, you know Garrick's personality, the way he lords victories and information over people and secrets. And you can tell just by the tone of 2 words in this tattooed script that he's mocking you.
He's not talking to you. He's talking to me. Bit of mockery for finding out, I guess.
That can't do. I don't think I like that very much. And because of that, I'm going to make this place a sanctum.
Hit it up with a good old sanctum.
This warehouse, I'm gonna make 100-foot sanctuary because I'm like, I do not want him communicating with any of us.
We just kickstarted something by finding that out, so.
The people around you are shocked at first, not entirely sure what's going on, but they focus towards you and then look towards all of you. Astrid looks and says, is this...
Vincent's in concentration.
Okay. I'm just gonna let you all do your thing then.
He's just trying to keep us safe. It'll be alright.
Fair enough. She backs up. Time goes by. The sanctum is put into place.
Hopefully, that'll stop him from talking through your arm. That's weird. Does that happen often?
Honestly, and I'm going to be honest, no, it doesn't happen that often.
Has it happened before?
Yes.
What does it say before?
It's usually directions for things that he wants me to do. But there was one time that it was like a congratulations after we defeated one of the hands, Invictus.
He congratulated you for that. Aren't those his people?
I don't know what is going on in his head.
Maybe he's just sick and twisted. Thinks it's
We
funny.
already know he's sick and twisted.
I know that.
Speaking of Azram, you have a patron? What is that?
I think I would know a thing or two about warlock patrons, right? In my research.
Yeah, it's not even a roll. You've
I know Vincent enough to know that there's a lot of nervous research into what makes a patron and what it
Maybe.
is.
Yeah, I'm a warlock.
I've never heard of a patron before. I didn't know.
Where'd
Sorry.
you think my magic came from?
I don't fucking know. I didn't think about it.
Okay, then
didn't
stop
s-
thinking about it. You didn't care about it before.
I'm a bit interested.
I'm on the curious now because Finnegan brought it up. And if they brought it up,
Maybe it matters.
then it's my business. And I'm curious.
True. Do you even know your patron?
I've never met them.
Really?
Yeah, I've never met them.
Do you know a name or get a vibe of if they're like what nature of sort of being they are, or like fiend or fae?
Honestly, all I know is the name that they call them, which is Mistress.
Have I ever heard of that before?
You can make a religion check with disadvantage for this one.
Very, very good. I feel like I might have rolled this before. Oh my fucking god. 10.
It's not familiar to you. You never heard of a being called Mistress before.
Strange. Alright. And not to pry or anything, but what do they want of you? I mean, what... Because obviously you they give you your power and you give them something back. What do they want?
They just... Not much. Honestly. Not much. Not much.
Nothing crazy.
Nothing.
Really.
Do you talk to that being? The mistress?
No, I've never met them.
Really.
Oh, so how do you get in contact with them, this whole situation?
I don't usually need to.
Oh.
So, I've never tried.
So basically your relationship with your patron is they leave you alone and ask you to do what? Go bring them flour every Sunday? I don't...
They really don't ask that much of me.
That much. That means they ask you of something. I'm not dumb.
What, do you come by, do community service every month? I don't...
It's the same with Invictus. Sometimes they just have a task that I need to do.
What kind of tasks?
Usually pretty small things.
Like... Azram.
We're pulling again. I'm like pulling teeth.
Remember the open book
2 days
thing
in a row.
from forever ago? Open book, Azram.
I'm at open.
Listen,
book.
I don't want to get you in trouble, so if there are things that will
You
put you at
can't,
risk,
yeah.
then don't risk it, but...
I just don't want you to get involved, and I'm scared if you know, you'll get involved, and what
We're
if I
already
tell you the
here.
information, and then Ladara gets brainwashed again?
Well, we're all at risk of that, I think.
It's already been done once, so.
But you didn't tell them anything about my patron.
Well, I feel like now that we know a little bit more information, everything is just going to be a little bit different now. So, either way.
Every once in a while, they ask me to usually take care of something or someone.
Take
Like-
care of,
like
as
kill
in
them.
Kill
kill
them.
them.
Yes.
All right.
Have you
Isn't that...
been with us when you've done that?
But that's also the same thing as, like, Invictus, right? You have people to kill. You have a lot of contracts that you gotta... A lot of people you gotta kill.
You have like a file
Booked and busy.
cabinet?
Booked and blessed.
Yeah, I've never done one by myself, actually. You guys have actually helped with almost every single one.
Oh, you're welcome.
And you didn't tell us that that was
We don't
the
get a part of
case?
this shit.
It didn't come up.
Wait a second. You fucking jumped off the cart.
You jumped off the cart!
That was one of them, wasn't it? Because I couldn't for the life of me understand why you would have done that.
That may have been one of
No,
my
okay.
contracts.
Oh my
And Renee almost died because of that.
Oh, he's fine.
You
We're there
Little
right now in bed.
bastard.
Renere's like asleep, and then his eyes like peek.
You bastard. You
didn't have to jump off with me.
would let you
Oh,
die?
right. Yeah, like we
Let
didn't
you
have to
face
jump off
that thing
with
on
you.
your
Like
own?
if I
And
jumped,
this is why I don't fucking tell you guys anything.
if you had told us in the
Because you just I have things I need to do. I have things I need to
and
do.
we're here to help you.
Okay.
We can't do that if you can't tell us anything.
Well, I don't have to fucking give you my whole life story and have you deal with every issue that I come across. I do these things for a reason. I have a patron for a reason. I signed up for Invictus for a reason. I'm not going to sit here and let you guys lecture me over it.
Fine, if you don't want our help, then we don't have to give it to you. Is
I
that what
didn't
you want?
ask to talk about this.
If you want to go on and keep closing yourself off, that's fine.
I'm closing you guys off from what? Fucking otherworldly beings? A guild of fucking warlocks? My bad. For not getting you involved in it.
Azram? Vincent, let's just calm down for a moment. Okay? I really cannot take us arguing right now, and Azram, I understand why I do. I'm sorry. If you felt like we were prying, I didn't mean to. So we can drop it. We don't have to talk about it. You don't have to talk about it at all if you don't want to anymore. I can't take this argument right now. I'm sorry. And I get up. And I go alone somewhere.
Ladara pushes past the foggy exterior of the sanctum. Some time alone.
I won't ask again. So, hope that makes you happy.
Thanks. Azram also gets up and walks out.
You leave. Vincent there, sitting. And as you're sitting there, Vincent, a voice pops into your head. And not the one that's usually there. A very monotone voice chimes in and says, I've been told that you've figured it out. Or at least a piece of it. With these spells, you can tell the identity of the sender. At least how you know them. As Finnegan Walsh.
Fuck. Fucking Christ.
Even through my barrier?
Continuing. If you'd like to know more, we can talk. Would you?
Only if it's on my terms. You'll not harm me or my friends. And you'll let us leave. Unbothered. And you will not follow us.
You get a reply. Another spell. I'm afraid on the last bit, I cannot acquiesce. Would you mind if we switched to a more convenient method of communication?
My terms are set. And what method of communication are you referring to? I don't negotiate with people like you.
You feel a sudden, just a throb in your head. And it's hard to describe the feeling.
feel like something's trying to get inside.
No.
Are you resisting?
Yeah.
Me-
Right now?
Okay.
No, yeah.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
When I'm
then.
like right in the middle of this space? No, I'm not gonna let that happen. Wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
Not bad. It was a 17. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't great.
It's good. It's
Oh,
not
no.
enough.
No!
Unfortunately.
Oh, why are my wisdom saves so bad?
17 does not save.
No.
As you feel another presence in your mind.
Oh my god, there's so many in here.
And you hear a voice say, "Would you prefer if I talk like this? Or like Finnegan?"